everyone, and welcome to another episode of Estella's Intuitive Chamber. I'm here back to annoy you with more stuff about astrology. As you know, there is a new moon in Aries on the 20th of April. Um, so this energy is very much an energy of culmination, and it's signified by symbolized or signified, well, symbolized in this case by the 29th degree of Aries. Um, which as I spoke in the Bill Gates's video that I uploaded a couple of days ago, and I immediately got shadow banned for, which is funny because when you expose things that you shouldn't say, you just immediately get shadow banned. I just like pushing their buttons this way. But anyway, so as I mentioned in the Bill Gates's video, that the 29 degrees are very it's a considered, well, in astrology it's considered to be a critical degree, and it's a degree that kind of determines, there's like a sense of urgency that comes with that degree. It can be very dramatic and can be very symbolic. It can be very, it's almost like I see this as the last degree. So something urgently, like there's a sense of not only urgency, there's a sense of like something needing to be done very quickly now, because it's going to be in the sign of Aries. We really kind of we really need to be careful. Like I'm telling you, like really, really careful for those who have Sun in Aries, whose rising sign is Aries, who have, for example, a very prominent, like a very significant planet or aspect in Aries. Those who have Moon in Aries, for example. Those who have like Venus in Aries, that sort of thing, especially on that 29 degree, they really need to watch out at the moment, or well, not only watch out, they obviously have to be careful. So first of all, not to make any impulsive decisions, not to jump not to jump with the head through the wall, not to kind of be stubborn about something that, for example, like isn't working out. For example, if you see that something is a really bad idea or something isn't, really working out, and you just go like you dive straight with your head against the wall, through the wall, I mean, then you can see it could kind of like really backfire, and you will kind of immediately feel the consequences of that decision or that action or something like that. So I dare to say that with this 29 degree, so obviously we have to really be careful not to make a last minute impulsive decision like, oh, fuck this, I'm gonna just quit my job and I'm gonna, I don't know, fly to Thailand or something like that. Like, it sounds amazing. Like, I'm very adventurous myself, and it sounds like, wow, I'd like to do something so crazy, but sometimes we have to like sit down and sort of like as I like to say it, we are out to really sleep on it, because now this is a really critical time. Like, you don't want to find yourself at the wrong place in the wrong time, especially as I feel there could be like a war, because obviously Aries is connected to it's connected to Mars, the planet of war. So I wouldn't want you to be like at the wrong place in the wrong time for something to kind of escalate, especially if you're in a war-torn country, or you find yourself in the middle of a war zone across the world, or, for example, in Eastern Europe, more precisely Ukraine or Russia or any of those, or for example the Middle East. So I would really kind of like try not to be in the middle of a war zone or a middle of a like very tricky, risky situation. Um, because with this karmic degree, it can really, there could really be an event of something very karmic or very destined going on, something very kind of sudden, very fast and very explosive and very dramatic. But on the good side, it's definitely a great. I think this has to be one of the best new moons to begin something new, like to officially begin with something that you either weren't really doing so far or you thought about doing. Now, this is the energy to kind of really begin something. It's a great manifestation energy, bringing something new into your life, whether this is a soulmate type of person, or this is like some abundance, some money coming in, or some creative some creative pursuit that you have been thinking about for a while, or for example, like just an example, the new moon is going to happen in my first house. um, so I've decided, this is about my personality, the self, the physical appearance, blah 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 blah. So in this case, like, because it's happening so profoundly in my first house, so I've been having like this kind of distorted self-image lately, where I'm like, I'm not very, not that I'm not happy with myself, but like I think I could do more. Like I could, for example, I have the perhaps the last couple of years I might have like neglected my workout regime. Not that I have neglected it completely. I try to work out 2 or 3 times a week, but I feel like it's not enough, and I have to make like additional changes because something, and it's with the case when something's just not working out properly, like, your workout regime, it's time to change it, or time to do something different, or time to do something like maybe you've never done before, because Aries is connected to this very masculine energy, to this energy of like a war, and it's a very physical aspect, like with very holds a lot of physical energy, a lot of masculine physical energy. So you might have a lot of like suppressed anger, for example, um, anger that you know that that needs to be directed properly. So in this case, like, you're thinking, if one of you guys or girls, whatever, if you're thinking about joining martial arts, or like learning how to protect yourself, or do self-defense, do like a self-defense course, this is now a brilliant time to really begin to enroll into some classes. I would assume, um, with Aries. Aries is a very active sign. It's a sign that enjoys and needs to kind of like direct their anger through like physical activity, whether this is sex, like good excellent passionate sex, or this is like a sport of some sort, something that you like doing, something that is gonna get your blood. Okay, never mind, I thought it was the doorbell. So it's something that will have like your blood pumping, and will kind of pump your blood properly into your head, because you know that aries are connected to Aries is connected to the head. Um, so something like, I feel like I keep seeing blood like being pumped into the head, and I don't know why I'm seeing this. But just be careful, like with your blood pressure. Be careful with your heart. I wouldn't necessarily say heart, more of like with blood pressure into the head, and like the veins surrounding your head. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm probably just channeling. But just be careful with that. Definitely check your bloods, for example, if you have been having some concerns. Um, I'm wearing all red and I'm talking about blood, which is funny. But I believe a lot of people are going to feel very kind of enthusiastic. They could feel very energetic, or there could be like some, with Aries, it could be some like, especially if it's opposing, like if you have some planets in Libra, for example, and it would oppose Mars, or would oppose some of the planets like Mercury, or Uranus. Well, not really Uranus, but those sorts of planets, like smaller, faster moving planets. Then you just have to be careful not to have like a serious argument, or like a situation just like running out of control, escalating to the point where like you really need to like intervene, or have someone else intervene. But just doing something really, really nice for yourself, like beginning something new, being like, okay, for example, if you've been, um, I'm just gonna give it as an example. If you've been stuck in like a toxic relationship for a long time, instead of just arguing and arguing and arguing, like with every kind of moon cycle, and this keeps happening and happening, and the situation, for example, keeps escalating, like it would be a good time to maybe take action and leave this person, or move out, or go somewhere else, get yourself away from the toxicity and the stuff like that. Or for example, I definitely keep feeling like about physical exercise. I feel that, with technology and with everything, and like speaking to myself too, like uh, I find myself like well, I'm not sitting down all the time, but I would like to be more mobile than I am, and even despite I still work out three times, 2 3 times a week, I still, as I said, feel, because it's happening in my first house, I feel like it's just not enough, and I could benefit a bit more from it. But this is the time, like for example, I'm gonna make a new workout regime for myself, something that's obviously going to be maybe personalized for myself, or it's gonna that I could feel like benefiting myself from. I have even thought about like maybe getting like a personal coach, and just kind of getting into this new diet, making physical changes to my body, because um, especially with our generation, we have a lot of issues. We're sitting down a lot, not only with like 9 to 5 jobs, or we're spending a lot of time in front of the Xbox computer, and we're not very. I don't find a lot of people in my generation. We're not moving a lot, and we really need to move much more. Fair enough. There's people that go to the gym several times a week, or they go hiking and stuff, which hiking is also really good. But just be careful. Another thing, when you do this physical activity, whether you go hiking or you fly somewhere, or you go somewhere, you start running or whatever, like just be careful with injuries to the head. An example that actually, when I saw this aspect, I have immediately thought about like injuries to the head, and deaths caused by injuries to the head, because Aries is so connected to the head. Um, I have like immediately thought about Craig Breen, the Irish rally driver that just died in the most bizarre way. And like interestingly enough, he's an Aquarius, and Pluto has just entered Aquarius. Now Pluto can be about transformation, it can be about death, it can also represent rebirth. In this case, like for him, it just resulted in unfortunate, very, very freaky accident. Basically, he got impaled. He was driving this. He was having a pretest in Croatia, which is interesting, and he was just driving, and then he kind of got off the road, and he was impaled by a wooden pole, like from the part of the fence, and the driver that was accompanying him was actually left. He was left intact, but Craig Breen just immediately died. So just kind of the example of one of those things that can happen during Aries season. Just be careful, like of falls. Be careful not to fall on your head, or if you suffer from migraines, be very careful because they could flare up right now. If you have like issues with, for example, veins connected to the head or your spine, for example, just be careful of like these injuries that have a lot to do with the neck and head a lot. um, but otherwise, not trying to be negative, but otherwise, this is a very good energy to really begin something new. Um, there could be new emotions involved, new romances, because I think Aries is quite adventurous, and they 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 kind of they kind of fall in love really quickly, but they also get bored really easily in their like love department. So there could be like flings happening that like you fall in love really crazily. There's like crazy passion and fireworks, and then kind of next day you're like, well, fuck this, So how it goes, we kind of like, especially in this very wretched date culture we have today, that people just have these like endless flings and nothing comes out of it, and then I don't know, I don't know who normal feels happy having that. I mean, it's so nice to have that passion and intimacy, and you know um but I think it's more of an ego thing, even if you get involved with someone, and there's a short fling happening, then that's most likely just you trying to satisfy your ego more than anything, just like maybe trying to get a bit of attention or something. But in this date culture that my generation has, it's quite sad actually, because it's difficult not to fall for it as well, because it's so tempting. But at the same time, like, I view our bodies as really sacred, and our souls are very sacred, and you don't want to be touched by everyone, and you don't want to especially have sex with just anyone. Not saying that this is you know, I'm not a celibate here, my goodness, but it's sometimes it's just very kind of like the more you get into the depth of it, the spirituality of it, the more you realize how kind of empty and how damaging for your energy this can be ultimately, and for your body as well, because it's about hygiene as well. So if you come across any like insignificant fling or something like that, but there could be potentials, as I mentioned, with the full moon in Libra. Now there's a new moon in Aries, so for sure, like those who have a prominent Aries in their chart, or those who have like Sun in Aries or Venus or Moon, they could, as well, those who have a lot of Libra aspects, for sure, they could, at the moment, they could be really, really having like an intense romantic relationship right now. Um, like the likes of, as I mentioned in the full moon in Libra video, the likes of a soulmate type of connection. So watch out for that, because it could be very exciting. It could be very passionate. It could be very like feels almost fated in a way. I also wanted to mention something else. I also wanted to mention that Mercury is going to go retrograde in the sign of Taurus on the 21st of April, I think a day after the new moon. So I'm kind of having a feeling, I'm expecting that something big is going to happen this week in the world, probably. I don't know why I keep getting this like financial shift and big financial change or collapse even. I don't want to say collapse, and because it's quite a big word to say. But there's definitely something with the financial system that just kind of like either collapses, or something major happens, or like there's a new for example, a new war situation that breaks out somewhere that, for example, brings on to some financial economic changes in the world. That is very likely. Or, with Mercury retrograde, of course, we always have to bear in mind that Mercury rules technology, it rules communication, it rules transportation, vehicles, trade, many different things anyway. It rules siblings as well, so keep an eye to your siblings, communication with your siblings, for example. Um, just beware not to make reckless decisions while driving, for example, or going on a trip or something. Definitely watch your finances. Like don't leave no stone unturned. For the simple reason that Taurus is connected to our material assets and our wealth. It's ruled by Venus. So, within the love department, there could be a lot of misunderstanding, or there could be like some sort of um, some sort of maybe arguments going on regarding financial situation or money, or like lack of money or stuff like that. Um, I would definitely say that something's gonna happen this week in particular. Something like definitely to do with I keep feeling this like war thing breaking out in a country, or like a country declaring war suddenly, or just maybe there will be a country perhaps declaring martial law of some kind, or like state of emergency. I know it sounds really awful, but it is just what I feel, and I hope what I feel is wrong. I really hope so. But I'm just saying, just kind of stating. I'm just yeah, I don't know why I'm saying this. I just have a feeling, something major. I really hope, I really, really, really hope I'm wrong though. So in that case, Mercury retrograde, as we know, we have to kind of not shut our mouth, obviously. Just you always say what's on your mind, and as long as it's kind of righteous and you're not trying to hurt someone else on purpose, or you're not trying to be malicious on purpose and so on. Definitely kind of watch out your words. Just be careful what you say, the way you say it. Also be careful, because Taurus is I always see that Taurus is connected to the land, and and on the land we have a house, for example. Like if you are purchasing a house, or you're signing a contract and you document for a house or whatever, just be very careful that when you're signing the contract, that there could be some delays. There could be delays in getting a loan, for example. There could be delays in getting a car. Um, there could be some sort of delays in payments. There could be some delays. For example, I don't know why I keep seeing this. Like, when you buy a new house, I keep seeing keys and stuff. and I keep like seeing a contract. And when you sign this contract, just please make sure you read through the entire contract or have a lawyer read that for you, so you make sure that everything is okay, that there's nothing that you have missed, or for example when you move in and then I don't know, you realize that your house is possessed by a demon or something, just just be careful that you kind of know the history of the house, or you know what you're kind of walking into. Um, there's something else I wanted to mention. Yeah, definitely. I don't know why I have the need to say this. Like, obviously, if you have money in your bank account, like I would try to keep some of it like in another maybe safer place. I don't know why I have the need to say that right now, but be careful with documents. Be careful with, for example, Taurus is also could be definitely connected to your assets, and it will be it's very close to Uranus right now. So anything kind of unexpected, as I said, don't leave any stone unturned. As you don't want to miss something very important. Same with employment, signing new employment contracts. If you're a Taurus, you could be getting new job opportunities right now. A lot of communication surrounding the new job opportunities. And if you're a Scorpio as well, be careful. You're signing stuff, you're walking into a new job, you're getting a new job offer. Just make sure you really read through that contract. And because lately, and even with myself, like I've been seeing lately that whenever I was kind of signing a contract, then it all sounds kind of nice and dandy, and then you sign the contract because you're like, fucking, I'm not gonna fucking read 10 pages of this, like who has time for that? And then you sign it stupidly, and then later on you realize like, oh, actually I got myself into this like thing that I actually don't agree on. Or like, for example, if you're reading like terms and conditions that none of us really bothers reading that, to be honest. We really should though. You kind of agree to something, and then later on you're like, well shit, I didn't really think that this was gonna I didn't really think this was gonna bring that. But those sorts of things, just to be very careful. Definitely, it's a great day to start something new, to do something different, something you've never done before. Um, like sign up to a course, to a new class, or you might be like, it might be like just a new beautiful phase of your life. For example, like you're walking into this, like you receive, for example, I pulled up some tarot cards last week and I got this like very good news that were coming. And you're just going to like step into this like new phase in your life, and it's going to be very exciting and very new, and you might feel, oh my god, I'm freaking out because it's so new, and I don't know what's going on and so on. But just be very proud that this is happening, that the universe is giving you something that you've been waiting for a long time. And something else I wanted to say. Also, another interesting thing about this new moon in Aries, that the sun and the moon are going to square Pluto in Aquarius. So this is a lot about. I feel like it's a lot about our like individuality, about who we are, what we need to do in order to level up in life, to raise ourselves to a higher vibration, stuff like that. Very much about introspecting into our individuality, and um, making the necessary changes, and taking necessary action to be able to level up. Almost like a video game. With each breath you sort of level up, or which with each new set of skills, for example the new moon, a new set of skills, then suddenly you kind of find yourself to be leveling up and more and more and more. But obviously when you level up, you have to be very very kind of cautious, you have to be very smart about it. You don't want to do it very dramatically. um Talking about leveling up, actually, I'm a huge fan of Skyrim. I've been playing Skyrim, well, not non-stop because I don't really have time to play any games lately, but I'm obsessed with Skyrim. I absolutely love the game. And like you level up really easily in that game. I almost wish you could do that in real life, just like, oh, new skill, suddenly you're leveled up, level 100 or something. You know, um, we have to be really careful, like how we do it. Obviously, there will have to be a situation where we will have to unfortunately let go of something, or fortunately let go of something bad, or we will have to really take action and take the necessary changes needed for us to really change our life for the better, or as I said, like a new workout regime, something that, we didn't like about ourselves physically, for example, or something that we think we would benefit from, as in terms of health and fitness, or our diet. I have really been thinking about not only buying a new game so I can play, and I really want to quit this because I don't really do it often. I don't have time really. I work and I do my hobbies, and I, I really have no time for game playing. But I'm still thinking like, oh, maybe I should really purchase this new game. I'm so tempted. Um, but in this case, doing something new, something, as I said, different, something you maybe never done before, something exciting, something that kind of like, because Venus is in Gemini, so it is a bit like infantile. It's a bit like it's a bit childish. It's a bit immature, or you know, getting like really, and not immature in a bad way. Like Geminis are very, I find them so interesting. I mean, I have my Gemini friend. She's been my friend for a long time now, for ever since I must have been 14 when we met. And she will literally, she's so amazing. I love talking to her because she's gonna give you these like really random facts. She's gonna know something about astronomy, completely random, completely unrelated fact. She's gonna tell you, like, she's gonna basically quote some famous poet, or she's gonna quote psychoanalysis by Carl Jung. She's just gonna like come up with these totally random facts, and you can talk to her about the most mundane, boring stuff, and you can also talk to her about the universe, about the meaning of life, about, they're very interesting folks, Geminis. I mean, for sure, there's plenty of things you can talk to them about. Venus in Gemini will kind of amplify that need to have new exciting conversations with others, to be more sociable, to go to be more out there, which is obviously very consistent with the themes of spring and the themes of summer being around the corner. Well, almost around the corner. So doing something new, something exciting, something like getting together. And I also feel my generation, and I keep roasting my generation. It's not also bad, but it's pretty bad. I mean, we're also obsessed with our phones, and myself included. Like, I keep staring at my phone all the time. I don't know what I'm gonna find on this phone, because the only thing I have, like, my IQ just goes down as I scroll through social media. I don't really find out anything interesting, like, really, unless I kind of like specifically look for something. You like look for information, but you know, we as a generation, I feel like we're very, very kind of lonely. We need to just talk to each other more. We need to hang out more. We need to be out there doing things, which a lot of people are doing, okay, but like maybe the generation before us, they're just glued to their phones, and it's kind of sad, because I see these children aged 10 or 11 or whatever, and they just kind of like, they can't see where they're walking. God forbid they get run over by cars while scrolling Snapchat or TikTok and stuff like that. But Venus in Gemini is really inviting us to connect and to socialize, and to kind of it amplifies the themes of social interaction, of being in social circles, communicating to a lot of people. There could be very new, exciting information, new, exciting friendships starting in this period. So definitely use that to transform with the square to Pluto. Like, maybe you will be forced to transform, or to change your life, or your life will be changed. Like, it will be turned 360 degrees or whatever. So there's going to be these like massive changes to ourselves, to the things we thought we knew who we were. Like, people have this image of who you are, or what you're supposed to do, or who you're supposed to be, but like, you know who you are, and you know what. Maybe you don't know who you are, like, you're on a path to discovery who you are, what you want to be. I'm not talking about, oh, you want to become a helicopter tomorrow, so that's what you're going to do. Like, something realistic, something that kind of like you've been feeling for a long time, for example. Um, Something to do with our, individuality, changes to our individuality. As I said, we might be forced to, in a way that, because transformation, sometimes metamorphosis doesn't, like awakening or enlightening, it doesn't really happen. Like sometimes it's just not very pleasant. It can be very dramatic. It can be very sudden, very quick. Some situation that happens, and then suddenly we have to, I don't know, move across countries, or we have to give up our jobs, or we just find ourselves, I don't know, single or ready to mingle again, or I don't know. There's just all types of situation that can arise from this aspect. It's very sudden. It's very kind of unexpected, even with Uranus in conjunctions to Mercury. Sudden pieces of information being leaked out. As we could see, like for example, footage being released and stuff like that. We could see the Dalai Lama kissing a boy, or no, he wasn't kissing a, well, he kissed a boy, then he asked the boy to suck his tongue, which is like, they say, oh, well, in some cultures in the East, that can be seen as something like playful, or it's part of the culture. I don't know. I mean, it is weird, and I don't want to get shadow bound for a second time. I mean, I've just begun my YouTube channel in January, and I'm already getting banned. That's just totally me. But that sort of things being leaked, like sudden, like unexpected types of information or footage, or because it's Mercury. Mercury is like all about communication and the mind, and this is why I think like new pieces of information could suddenly be released, and kind of spark controversy or spark some sort of like shock throughout the world, or like something new could be invented. For example, there could be some whole new invention that, basically mouth opening inventions that are shocking, that we couldn't really foresee, or they're being released, or they're being leaked, stuff like that, like very very unexpected sudden stuff right now. And I am going to draw a few tarot cards to see what the energy of this new moon is okay, officially so gonna be like. This is getting super exciting now. So I drew the death card, and I didn't draw it. I was mixing the cards, and it just fell out on the floor right underneath me. And I thought, well, of course it has to come out. Of course, there's a new moon, and it's gonna be like a dramatic transformation to it's squaring Pluto. So like, of course, there's gonna be a death card. This is so amazing. I love how these new cards, because I've purchased them, I think 2 weeks ago. My definition of time is very vague. Sometimes I feel like there's no time in my life. Um, so yeah, the death card, like I love how these cards communicate with me very well. Like I like, because it's such a new energy, and I feel like it's kind of giving proper guideline. So I drew the death card, and the death card is about endings. It's about new beginnings. It's about unexpected upheavals. It's about letting go as well. So once again, there's this strong theme of having to let go of something, or having to let go of an idea, or have to carry on or move on. There's an idea of like sudden change. There's going to be like a profound, very profound transformation going on deep within you, or with your physical appearance, for example, something that you suddenly decide to do. Um, Now, this is very exciting as well, because I drew the star card. I absolutely love this card. It's so sweet. I mean, even just look at it. It's so beautiful. Like, I mean, the death card is nice as well, but this one is just lovely. So the star is to do with, like, we really, now I feel like we really need to connect to our spirituality. Um, and then I drew the justice card. So interesting. Oh my God, it's like almost there's a karmic cycle that's going to end this week, or a new karmic cycle that's going to begin, and it has to do with something that you've been struggling for a long time, or something that, for example, like you feel like you were cursed, or there was a karmic thing going on with your past lives. Now it's being healed. This is also a card of deep healing. It's a healing card. It's letting you know that everything's gonna be okay. To trust your gut, trust your spirit guides, confine to your angels, to your spirit guides, to your gods, if you're a pagan, or like whoever you really want to worship. That's up to you. Um, So it's really like inviting us to make these drastic changes, and I feel like it's a cosmic, it's almost like a cosmic invite into clearing our karma as humanity, as planet Earth. We have done a lot of damage, and perhaps something's going to happen this week that is going to remind us that, we're not in charge of that, or that's going to remind us that the souls that are ready to kind of move on into the next level, that now it's gonna happen. It's gonna like deepen our connection to the higher vibration, to the ascended masters, for example, or to some very very high up light beings. I keep seeing like this angelic energy right now. It feels very good. They kind of want to know you, that they want you to know that you're okay, and then everything is fine, and they have your back. And it's like, and I feel with this card, because it's very karmic, and it brings up to, it's a card of Libra. It brings up to justice. So um, those who have done wrong, those who have works against Mother Earth, or those who have worked against, they will be punished right now. I don't know why I'm saying this. I'm just channeling. It's like they will be punished for their crimes, or like there's some goodness, there's some truth wanting to come out, and it's really inviting you to connect to your deepest spirituality, and your the of a place of love, instead of a place of hate and fear, and the themes we've been having the last 2 3 years. um these are very positive cards, actually. In like love relationships, this card could signify that some wounds are meant to be mended, are meant to be healed. Like if you've been having issues with your partner, for example, this could be mended, this could be resolved, or you decide to move on or to let go, and you kind of part way in a good way, or you kind of recognize that there's wounds to be healed and you need to move on. Or there could be completely like new opportunities surrounding your love life. But definitely some, I feel this karmic connection that's meant to bring a lot of healing into your life. There's just like, when you kind of stand next to each other, it feels like, oh wow, I can finally breathe again. This feels amazing. This sorts of connection, it's a really good connection. It's also kind of like, as I said, all good deeds, the good karmic deeds will pay off, but the bad deeds, if you've done something bad, it's gonna obviously escalate. But I feel like there's like a cosmic shift right now, and it's inviting us to really heal, connect to our spirituality, to be kind and loving towards each other, and to kind of cleanse this unfortunate, this very bad karma, or this things that we have done to Earth, or we have done to each other as humanity. It's really kind of time to move on with this new Pluto in Aquarius energy. It's really time to move on, and it's time to heal these past karmic wounds. It's really about time, because like tough times are coming. Uh, Significant times in our history are coming, and I feel that we really need to be ready to to be in that high vibration, because I feel we could benefit if we stay in that if we enter in this new cycle with this higher vibration, of course. It's also for a love reading. I keep getting this again. It's also like could be a person. For example, like you have a very dramatic breakup, or a dramatic situation, or for example, you decide to heal and to move on from this past wound, and then you open up to the bright future ahead, and you can rekindle with someone, for example, that you fought with, for example. Or you could, for example, like rekindle with a person from the past too. But this is a very good spiritual omen. Like we feel at peace. It's like a calm after the storm. If you, for example, it's almost like everything is calm and everything is serene, and you just have to kind of trust the process. But as well, that comes with a lot of like, there's a karmic baggage that you really need to heal, and you need to let go of. And it has to do with like a long, long line of just karmic events, or something that you've been carrying on for such a long while, and you're not letting this transformation and this new energy come in, because it's like you're holding on to that additional baggage that you don't really need anymore. Like it's part of the past, and it's gonna stay in the past, and you just really need to move on, and you can really kind of open up your space for like a new soulmate or a new person. And if you do, if that ends up happening, it's a really good omen, it's a really good sign, and it's sort of meant for you. But you just have to know that you will have to go through some major changes, a major transformation, and a lot of healing to be able to achieve that. But this change is coming, and it's going to be positive for you. And just I just want to say, just trust the process, and just call upon your guard, not your guards, my God, your guardians, and call upon your angelic angelic team, or your godly team, whoever you worship. I'm sure they look after you. You just have to be kind of, you just have to believe it. I know it's kind of like, in the world of atheists, it's difficult to believe that there's something out there watching you, but there is in any moment of your life. I mean, for example, I make a video and there's this thing falling behind me twice, and that's kind of when something wants to really communicate with you. So yeah, that this is all from me. It's getting quite late as usual. I don't know why I'm always doing videos before bedtime. Um, yeah, this is it from me. Let me know how you get on. Let me know what you experience. I'd love to hear some more experiences. Hopefully, if I'm still not shadow banned, but what can I do? It is the way it is. Might just embrace it. So, yeah, that's it from me from now. And I hope you enjoy this new moon. And I just hope it finds you well. And goodbye and good night or good morning, depending where you are. Bye.